right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live and welcome to today's NASCAR. We've got some lag. Hang on. Hold up a second. All right, I think we are good to go now. Oh my goodness. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's edition of a live commentary live stream on the channel. As here today we have the running of the 2023 NASCAR All-Star Open. The All-Star race will be later tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll have two separate live commentary live streams for you guys here this evening. So appreciate everybody tuning in. Apologize for all the errors we have been going through so far this weekend. I tried to do the live commentary stream from my bedroom, which is where I'm planning on doing these live commentary streams going forward. And I unfortunately just realized that there isn't enough internet connection in there quite yet. So have to go right back out here into the main room of my apartment. So appreciate everybody bearing with me here today at the start of today's stream. Yesterday, my computer crashed, my laptop crashed before the start of the stream, so that was a whole ordeal. I apologize we were not able to get live commentary for the heat races last night as a result, but thanks for everybody sticking with it here on day 2 of North Wilkesboro Speedway All-Star Race Weekend. Hopefully my laptop doesn't crash today. We were able to do the Truck Series live commentary with no hiccups yesterday. But today, on the other hand, it's going to be a little bit of a different story. Good news is we only have 100 laps for this first race, so I do think that we should be able to get through without my laptop overheating or anything of that nature that may cause it to crash. I think that might be the problem as of recent weeks, and I haven't been able to get it fixed. I've had a lot of other stuff I've had to pay for here over the last few weeks. Obviously, living in a new place, had to get a new car a couple days ago as well, so just kind of fighting through it right now. But again, I really do appreciate everybody tuning in. Now you guys are here to watch or listen, I guess not really watch, but listen to some racing here today. We'll bring you guys the coverage as always. Again, the All-Star Race Open will begin here shortly. Qualifying was on Friday night. And with the qualifying that took place on Friday night, it wasn't your typical qualifying session. It was actually qualifying for all drivers who would enter into the field this weekend for the All-Star race. If you were already locked into the All-Star race, it kind of set the starting lineup for the heat races that were taking place last night, and then wherever you ended up qualifying on Friday, virtue of the pit stop qualifying procedures, where the drivers would start like a couple rows back from their pit box. They would sound the alarm to start the qualifying session. They would drive into the pit box and then service the car for tire stop, and then they would have to hit like a certain commitment line, not all the way to the end of pit road, but there were times basically between 13, 14, and 15 seconds for the pit stops. That set the starting lineup for today's action. So Ty Gibbs will be on the pole for this one. Josh Berry will start on the outside of the front row in second place. Corey LaJoie and Harrison Burt will be in row number 2. By the way, Berry filling in for the injured Alex Bowman once again this weekend. He was ruled out still with a broken vertebrae in his back. Justin Haley and Michael McDowell will be in row 3. Row 4 will be Todd Gilliland and Ryan Preece. Eric Almirola and AJ Allmendinger in row 5. Josh Bilicki, Ty Dillon in row 6. Chandler Smith is going to make a start for Colleague Racing in the 13 car today. He's made a couple of cup starts this season. He's on the inside of row 7 with Ryan Newman to his outside. Newman ran his first cup race since the Next Gen has entered into the NASCAR realms last season. So Darlington last week for Ryan Newman. He'll be at North Wilkesboro this weekend trying to qualify his way into the All-Star race. And then Noah Gregson and J.J. Yaley will round out the field today as they will be starting back in row number 8. So my pick for the All-Star Open is going to be Josh Berry. He's a good short track racer. I feel very confident that he can get the win here. Track position is going to be huge. We didn't see many passes for the lead in the heat races with the Next Gen car at North Wilkesboro Speedway yesterday, so hopefully we can get through that today. No hiccups, hopefully. They have already given the command to fire engines, I do believe. So we are just in a matter of waiting for the drop of the green flag here in this race. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Again, our first of 2 live streams this evening. Live commentary for tonight's All-Star race will start at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, right now we have the All-Star Open. 250 laps of the main event later tonight, 100 laps for the Open. 3 drivers will qualify from the Open to make it into the All-Star race virtue of racing their way in, and then there will be 1 fan vote. So that will close at the end of the race. So if you have not voted already, go into NASCAR's website or the mobile app and vote for your favorite driver of the Open drivers to vote them into the All-Star race if they are unable to race their way in here momentarily. Give some quick shout-outs here before the start of the race as well. Regine Huddleston, Brander Martinez, Billy Kramer, Chris Davis, Wade Selinsky, Hopeful, Brett Whitesides. Who else we have here in the chat? Dark Crypto, Stan Woodward, Patrick Chatterley, James Moore, Chris Davis, 1000 horsepower next gen, Philip Moore, and others. Welcome into the stream. Got almost 50 people in here already. Race has not started quite yet. Listening to some pre-race reports.
But a few weeks ago, he started a Vote for Noah campaign, complete with video and a pin like this that he handed out to everybody that was willing to take it. But he'll have his work cut out for him tonight as he's starting way back in 15. Regan Smith.
Well, Jamie, perhaps no driver in the field has more experience on old, worn-out racetracks in the Southeast than Josh Berry. Tracks very similar to where we're at here at North Wilkesboro tonight, but he told me not to read too much into that. He said these cars and this tire is so much different than what he's had experience with. He doesn't know how much that will factor in, but he does like his race car. He said it's fast, and his team, who would have been locked in with regular driver Alex Bowman, he said they deserve to be in this race, and I'm going to do everything I can to get them into this race. Josh Sims?
Well, Regan, Ryan Preece has been in the Open 2 times, never been in the All-Star race. They're going to start 8th in this event, and they said that the word to describe what they're going to have to do, scratch and gouge their way to get some track position to give themselves a shot. Well, I talked with crew chief Chad Johnson, and he told me it doesn't matter if it's a points race, if it's the All-Star race, or it's the Open. No matter the amount of cars in the field, a win can go a long way in the confidence of a team.
Thanks, Josh. Well, let's check with 2-time North Wilkesboro Cup Series winning crew chief, Larry McReynolds.
Well, Mike, one thing that's not changed in 27 years, I'm going to have to scratch or crawl with my strategy for this race because it's 100 laps. It's a short race, and all laps count. But we're going to have that all-star caution around lap 40. There's only one overtime finish, but one reason I'm glad I'm up here with you guys and not down there making the calls, only 2 sets of Goodyear tires. Tire fall off here is so bad, I used to tell my tire guy, do not roll on the pit road. Please carry them.
All right. This is a very...
So 100 laps again will be the scheduled distance for today's All-Star Open. Again, 3 drivers will qualify virtue of racing their way in and 1 off of fan vote into the All-Star race, which will give us a grand total of 24 drivers in the All-Star race main event later on tonight. Track conditions going to be pretty hot and slick here for the start of this race. Remember, this is the original pavement at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. They did not repave this track after it sat vacant for 27 years before bringing NASCAR back this weekend. They have been running some local short track event series races in the east out at North Wilkesboro since last fall. They actually ran some dirt races here before running on the pavement. Or they were, I think, originally supposed to run dirt races before repaving the racetrack, and instead they're actually just running on the original pavement. It produced great racing yesterday in the Truck Series. I enjoyed the heat races last night. I couldn't commentate for you guys, unfortunately, when my laptop crashed, but able to commentate here today, and I was able to watch the races yesterday regardless of the fact. So Ty Gibbs will more than likely take the inside lane for the start here. They've got the 1-to-go signal this time by. They will be going green. And Ty Gibbs, of course, rookie in the NASCAR Cup Series this year. He has been pretty good, really, for most rookies. Just outside the cutoff line coming into the race today. But the points won't matter this week. It is $1 million check on the line for the race winner later tonight. Sold out grandstands this weekend for the Cup Series All-Star Race. A packed crowd for yesterday's truck race as well. And we are about to begin the All-Star Race Night 2023 edition and the return of Cup Series racing, competitive racing at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Through the Geico restart zone, Ty Gibbs will lead the field to the green, and we are underway. Good launch for the 54 car down on the bottom of the racetrack. Alex Bowman did not take, or I should say Josh Berry did not take off well. In the outside lane, accidentally punts the car right in front of him, of Corey LaJoy, who got by on the inside of row 2, followed the 54 of Gibbs up the racetrack. A lot of 2 and 3 wide racing through 3 and 4, and Ty Gibbs will lead the opening lap of the Open and has about a 2-car length lead into turns 3 and 4 on lap 2. Chandler Smith gaining a ton of spots off the opening start of this race as he has moved inside the top 10 already after starting 13th. Berry was able to get back to second place. LaJoy has fallen back in line in 4th. Justin Haley moves up to the 3rd place position for right now. Kind of fumbled the start with the commentary. Sorry for that. Corey LaJoy again getting passed by more cars. Now contact as he crowds the 10 of Eric Almirola. Todd Gillen got around LaJoy for 4th just a couple of laps ago. And Almirola will force his way to the inside and get by the 7 as well. And quickly behind him is Harrison Burton trying to keep close proximity to that 10 car so he can as well make his way by the 7 of LaJoy, who is fading in the early going of this race. Tire management will be huge. Each of these teams have 2 sets of Goodyear slicks that they can put on their race cars. So at the course of today's race, there will be a competition caution scheduled right around lap 40 in this Open as well. Corey LaJoy not looking too good today after that great starting position, thanks to his pit crew from Friday night during the All-Star Race qualifying procedures. He is definitely going backwards and is quickly getting freight trained by nearly everybody in the field. LaJoy has already fallen back to the 9th place position, and once AJ Allmendinger gets underneath him and gets around him, LaJoy will now have fallen outside the top 10 after starting 3rd in just the first 6 laps. 7 laps complete now at the start-finish line. Ty Gibbs has opened up a lead of 1.3 seconds over Josh Berry in the 48. Berry sits in 2nd right now. Justin Haley is 3rd, 1.6 seconds off the lead. Todd Gillen is 4th, 2 seconds off the lead, and Eric Almirola is 2.6 seconds back in 5th. So that is your top 5 in the first 8 laps of this race. Just over a half-mile racetrack is the length of the North Wilkesboro Speedway, so another short track on the schedule. We've had quite a few tracks of 1 mile and less in length in the NASCAR Cup Series schedule over the last month or month and a half. And a lot of great racing has come about these last couple of weeks as well. A thriller at Kansas 2 weeks ago and last week at Darlington, a pretty solid race as well for both the Xfinity and the Cup Series. Trucks putting on good shows at times also. Berry has pulled away from Justin Haley in the 31 behind him, and it looks like the 2 Fords of Gillen and Almirola are now trying to work their way around Haley. It was a lot for a driver to try to work around another car in traffic in last night's heat races, and I would imagine that will be the case again here in this race. Aggression will maybe amp up here in the Open when we get closer to the second half of this event for drivers trying to put themselves into a transfer spot to the main event tonight. Ryan Newman will make a pass for position on, believe it was Josh Bilicki in the 78. He is running the Live Fast Motorsports race car tonight in place of BJ McLeod, the owner of the race team. And Gregson was able to follow Newman closely behind to get that spot. Ryan Preece in recent years had ran a Rick Ware Racing 15 car prepared by SHR on some of these short track races and had a great run at the Clash last season. So we'll see if Ryan Newman with Rick Ware Racing can maybe get a good run here today in another exhibition race for that organization. Gives his lap time, that last lap is about 0.2 quicker than Josh Berry in the 48 car behind him. Justin Haley is still falling back but remains in the 3rd place position, and Eric Almirola making a pass currently on Todd Gillen and actually just got around him for the 4th place position. So Almirola moving his way through, former Open winner in recent years of the All-Star race. Has actually raced his way into the All-Star race in a couple of recent races. Over the last few years, Bristol, he was able to do it, and also had it at Texas a couple of seasons ago. Last season, in fact, as well. Season before that, he won, or I think it was 2 seasons ago, because then last season he was in on a win, because 2021 he got a win in the summer New Hampshire race. Josh Berry's lap time's a little bit closer to Ty Gibbs at last lap, as he was only about 0.02 of a second slower, even a little less than that. So maybe it's time for Josh Berry to start taking control of the longer runs. We're going to see a lot of tire fall off already. With only having 15 laps on these tires, we have seen fall off of over 1 second. That's a lot for a short track. Then Gibbs picked back up again that last lap and was about 0.04 of a second quicker than Josh Berry. A 1.7 second lead still to this point over the 48 of Berry. Justin Haley's 2.8 seconds back in 3rd. Eric Almirola is in 4th, 3.2 seconds back. Todd Gillen is now 4.1 seconds off the lead in 5th. Harrison Burton is 6th place, 5.5 seconds off the lead. Michael McDowell's in 7th, 6.6 seconds back, battling with Chandler Smith, who is in 8th place, also 6.6 seconds off the lead behind him. Ryan Preece is in 9th place, 7.6 seconds off the lead. And in 10th place is AJ Allmendinger, who is 8 seconds off the lead. The 5 drivers who had a chance to try to win the fan vote tonight, as they were in the top 5 in no specific order coming into the start of today's open race, were the drivers of Eric Almirola, Noah Gragson, AJ Allmendinger, and I believe Corey LaJoie was in that group, as well as Ryan Preece. I think those were the 5 that we are looking at potentially winning the All-Star Open tonight. Gibbs continues to dominate and now has stretched his lead out to 2.3 seconds as we're 20 laps in.
That guy's really vulnerable. You'd like to get him loose on exit, but it seemed really hard for those guys to time it out.
AJ Allmendinger back in 10th spot. Here's their radio.
Yeah, I mean, I got no grip at all. Just feels way out of the racetrack both days. I don't know. You can't get the front to turn. And then when I got a lot of steering wheel on it and I try to throttle up, there's nothing there.
Welcome to Wilkesboro, right?
Oh, it's painful, right, Clint? It reminds you almost of a Richmond or Darlington, where you're half throttle, but you're gaining on somebody. You can't imagine that their car could be driving any worse than what yours is.
When tracks are slick like this, there's no more word more important than the word balance. You have to have a good balance on your car. And what that means is that rear end cannot be too loose sliding out from underneath of you. That front end cannot be too tight sliding out from underneath of you. It has to be an evenly matched race car from front to rear.
And I love, like, if you just watch Ryan Preece right there behind Chandler, you can see that car sliding around, and he's
Sorry for the slight lag. Come on. I don't know why it's acting up all of a sudden. It was fine through the truck race yesterday.
Like paint schemes.
There we go.
See how, for the Wood Brothers, see how loose Harrison was getting off of the turn 4, sliding out from underneath it. In there, these cars are really starting to fall apart on these long runs like we were talking about. This is what separates the men from the boys right here. Lap 25 on, we know that there's a caution coming around that 40 mark. I think you're going to start to see who has the balance underneath their cars and who doesn't.
And as bad as the cars are driving now, as a driver, it's hard to make a choice of not putting those tires on. Ooh, you see super loose on the entry of the corner, and it carried on around. But it's hard not to want to put tires on at this competition caution. But if you're one of these guys in the back, you're going to have to do something different and hope that luck's on your side, and one of those cautions can fall 15 or 20 laps later where you get to be in a better position than the leaders.
So, Larry, when that competition caution comes, you're going to want tires, but do you need tires?
Yeah, you need them and you want them. And all of the above. But the only way what Jamie's saying, and I agree, I've always said you follow the leader, you follow the leader. The only way that works is you're going to have to catch a quick caution, or they will lap you in 15 laps.
All right, I'll mute that for right now. There is a bit of a lag for the coverage. I'm having to watch the race on my phone again because my room has even less internet access than the room here. As of right now, Ty Gibbs now has a 3.1 second lead. A competition caution, again, is scheduled for at or around lap 40, and that will give an opportunity for teams to maybe be able to change tires. But a pretty decent-sized lead built up for him right now. Justin Haley is currently in third place. Eric Almirola, Josh Berry is in second. Justin Haley in third still. Eric Almirola is fourth. Todd Gilliland rounds out the top five. Michael McDowell's in sixth. Harrison Burton seventh. Chandler Smith in eighth. Ryan Preece ninth. A.J. Allmendinger is in 10th. Ryan Preece in 11th. Noah Gragson in 12th. Corey LaJoie 13th. J.J. Yaley 14th. Ty Dillon is 15th. And Josh Bilicki rounds out the 16-car open field. Bilicki has just gone a lap down recently and is the only driver who is not on the lead lap. Battle for third place on screen right now between Eric Almirola and Justin Haley. Almirola will take over that spot on the bottom lane. Haley's going to just give it right to him. And Justin Haley now falling back just a little bit as Eric Almirola starts to put himself upwards in the running order. Might have to try to turn my internet on here at this point. I thought that was working very well for me earlier, but I'm going to have to figure something out for these streams, or it's going to be a tough hill trying to sled down.
In the All-Star race, felt he's going to have to do anything and everything he can to try and get back there.
Behind him, 5 cars in pretty close proximity there. Now here's Ty Gibbs. Ty Dillon just ahead of him is going to go a lap down right here. Trying to stay on the lead lap.
Well, he's fighting for everything he can, but the 54 car, Ty Gibbs, obviously has a little more grip. And Clint, I thought he did a really good job just barely moving Dillon up the racetrack. He had to get into him a little bit on entry. Dillon's trying to stay on the lead lap, crowd down to the inside, but he's hanging on for dear life.
I would say Dillon did a good job of crowding him, too.
Yeah,
you know, he was doing everything he could do to try to block him, try to stay on this lead lap.
Now the free pass rule is in effect, and it is doubtful that Ty Gibbs will get to J.J. Yaley, the next car, or the last car on the lead lap now, before the competition yellow.
Man, I don't want to see the yellow now. The way these cars are falling off, I want to say, you know, you have Almirola really coming up through the field. Some of them are really having trouble with the balance of their handling of their cars. Harrison Burton's all over the place. Now Allmendinger's getting to him. It's just getting spicy right now.
Yeah, and we talked about Eric Almirola a couple times, and guys, I'm telling you, consistently the fastest laps. If I'm a crew chief down there, that's the one I'm worried about right now.
All right, Ryan Preece with a little bump there, getting a little frustrated.
Inside here, inside, by himself. I don't even...
It sounds like Ryan Preece very frustrated on his radio. He just trying to hold off Ryan Newman in the 51 car right now. A.J. Allmendinger is really starting to move his way forward as he has passed both Chandler Smith and Harrison Burton in recent laps. Ryan Preece slides way up the racetrack out of the groove. In fact, as the 51 of Ryan Newman will make a pass for position, Gragson also gets around Preece. Now Gragson to the inside of Ryan Newman as Newman slides wide in turns 1 and 2, tries to undercut the corner to attempt a crossover move on Gragson. Gragson with a half block before Newman will carry the momentum into turn 3 and sweep his way right back around the 42. 42 tries a crossover move off of turn 4 now and is not going to be able to make that pass happen, or at least an attempt to make a pass in the next corner. So Ryan Newman will get back that 10th place position right now and trying to hold on for every position he can hang on for leading to the competition caution. We have hit lap 40, but there is no competition caution yet to this point. The rule coming into this race, it was going to be at or around lap 40, so NASCAR not going to have the comp yellow at this moment. Got a 4-car battle on the racetrack between Harrison Burton, Chandler Smith, Ryan Newman, and Noah Gregson. Really the closest battles on the track to this point. A lot of the field very spaced apart through the top 7 in the running order, as AJ Allmendinger quickly pulling away from Harrison Burton after passing him. Lap 41, and we have a caution, and it will be the competition yellow, so this is the first caution of the Open. Ty Dillon will get the free pass. Bilicki will remain a lap down, and Gibbs, who has led the first 41 laps of the day, will now have to try to win this race off of pit road and remain in the race lead. His pit crew won the pit crew challenge the other day, so hopefully they can have a fast stop here as well. $100,000 was awarded to the winner of that pit crew challenge, so that 54 pit crew splitting up the $100,000 grand prize. Now they're trying to get their driver into the All-Star race so he can win a grand prize of $1 million if he can go on to win the race later tonight. NASCAR Vintage 17, Terry Lewis. Also welcome into the stream here recently. Harry T, welcome to the stream. Robbie Crawford, thanks so much for tuning in also. I think pit road will be open this time by. Next time by, rather. Field working their way back to the front stretch again behind the pace car. And we will have to listen into some pit stops. Yeah, they can pit under the competition caution. There is a scheduled comp yellow for the main event later tonight as well, but I think that's scheduled for lap 100 if I'm not mistaken, with the longer race length. And there will be more cars, of course, later today, so there will be more opportunity for lap traffic and I think better racing overall. Gibbs leads the field into the pits.
All right, Jamie Little, pit road's open.
Mike, you can see there, pit road begins inside turn 3. There's the 10 of Eric Almirola turning some of the best times of this race. He said, I'm pretty good compared to all these guys around me. A little bit tight, so they made an air pressure adjustment to free him up. And Tad, he said he needs nothing else. Josh?
Second year in the Open for Todd Gilliland in the 38. Same story as everybody else. Loose in and loose off, tight through the center. Needs a little bit of help there, but hoping to get something to get him into the All-Star race. Regan?
Josh Berry too loose on the exit of the corners. The car overall just builds too free for him. He wants an adjustment for that. And the 54 of Ty Gibbs, he said it feels good. I don't know what else I would change with the car. Just give me a good stop, guys.
Harrison Burton, 21 car. Rear tires only. Rear tires only. Somebody's trying to pull a rabbit out of the hat.
So rear tires only for Harrison Burton in the 21, and that will only gain him one stop on pit road. Now, because he took rear tires only, and these teams only have 2 sets of tires, that one set of tires, meaning it was going to be the, not counting the set that they were on. So they get 2 sets. They get the set to start the race, and they have the opportunity to make one pit stop. There were a couple drivers that took 2 tires, so they will be able to take 2 more later in the day as well. And I do believe that Josh Berry may have won the race off pit road. I didn't pay too close of attention to that. I apologize for it. Having to watch this on my phone, and it's a little bit more difficult. And yes, Josh Berry did win the race off of pit road, so I was right. So Berry will be the leader on the restart. He was one of those drivers that took 2 tires. There was a plethora of drivers that did take 2 tires, but Harrison Burton went rear tires only, and I'm not sure if that's exactly what Josh Berry did, but I like the call there for Harrison Burton. That'll maybe help with the fire off. He's going to need a caution if he's going to want to come in and change those rear tires again, though. Still not having that forward bite in the front tires is probably going to hurt him, but we will see what all these different strategies will take place here for on the restart. So once again, I stated that 3 drivers advance into the Open. I think only 2 drivers are advancing out of the Open, and 1 fan-voted driver to make the 24-car field for tonight, because I do believe 21 drivers are already locked into the main event. So the top 2 will advance from the Open today, and then the final fan vote will decide the 24th member of the starting grid later on. Ty Gibbs clearly had the fastest car through that first tire stint of the race. Now that we have had pit stops under this competition caution and still about 55 laps to go, we will see if he can get back out in front now that Josh Berry will be the leader on the restart. When Berry had that outside lane on the front row, he did not take off well, actually fell back to third before quickly getting by Corey LaJoie for second. Maintained his second place position all the way up to the competition caution, but he fell as much as 3.5 seconds behind Gibbs at one point before trying to get back into the running.
Welcome back to the Open to set the field for the NASCAR All-Star Race this afternoon on FS1. Aerial coverage is provided by Goodyear, powering the race from green to checkered flag and every mile in between. Goodyear, more driven.
Watch this, guys. This is where the trouble was on Ty Gibbs.
Watch the jack band here as they come around to the left side.
Reaches around to get it. I don't know if his hands missed the handle or he turned the handle. Nonetheless, the car didn't go down and kind of fell off the jack as it left. $100,000. Hey, heroes one night, zeros the next. That's racing. Been there.
Yeah, if you look at the choose.
Billy Kramer, Meaner Cat, and Brandon Schutz as well. Welcome into the stream here recently. Field is entering the Geico restart zone. The green flag is back in the air. Josh Berry on the inside of row 1. Ty Gibbs went to the inside of row 2 right behind him. And Justin Haley will be on the outside of row 1 for the restart. 3 wide to the outside goes the 34 of Michael McDowell, trying to make some passes up on that top lane as the field bottlenecks underneath him. McDowell may get squeezed off the exit of the corner. There is contact, but it's underneath him with his teammate Todd Gillen in the 10 car of Eric Almirola. Still door-to-door for the race lead is Justin Haley as he held on for almost an entire lap on the outside of Josh Berry, but Berry was able to pull clear off of turn 4. Josh Berry now leads the field down into turns 1 and 2, leading his first green flag lap of the race. Justin Haley is failing to get back down to the bottom. Ty Gibbs and now Eric Almirola looking to make the pass on the 31. Almirola going to be able to pull clear for that third place position, and now the 34 of Michael McDowell, who picked up a couple of spots on that outside with the 3 wide move, is now trying to pick up another on Haley, who pulls a block down the front stretch onto the bottom, bottlenecking the inside up. One car hits the inside wall, into the outside wall. It's Noah Gragson as he overdrove the entry to turn 1. Caution flag is out for the first time today, and I think he collected Todd Gillen behind him. So a crash for the first time in the All-Star Open, and really for these Cup cars in general this weekend, and heavy damage on a few different race cars. Todd Gillen took a big hit into the outside wall after contact with Noah Gragson. Gragson had hit the inside pit wall off the entrance of turn 1 and ricocheted into Gilliland, which punched them both into the outside wall. Ryan Newman, who was in the outside lane behind them, had nowhere to go. He got collected. There's a toe link issue on the 13 of Chandler Smith. That's going to be tough to fix under the damaged vehicle policy clock as well. And I think there was a toe link issue also on the 38 of Gilliland, who took a hard hit head-on into the wall. A 4-car accident just a couple laps after the competition caution restart. And an accident caused by Noah Gragson overdriving the corner after a bottleneck in front of him with a late block by his teammate Justin Haley, nonetheless, over Michael McDowell when they were battling for 4th. So that's going to take out 4 cars from this Open of the 16, knock the field down to 12, and we'll have another restart ensuing here momentarily.
I'm sure that shocked all those guys of what happened to him.
Josh Bilicki will get the free pass on this, the second caution. So it starts way back here. Haley and McDowell. Haley getting into line, and now the whole field accordions into the corner.
Well, yeah, we talked about them all fighting to get down to the bottom. Then they all check up, they slow down. And it's almost like Noah Clint was maybe going to try to turn underneath McDowell, like he had a little run, has those fresh tires on the fronts, turn a little better. Just mistimed it.
He entered on the outside of him a little bit, and when he went to turn back under him and cross over, it's just a blind corner for him at that point. Didn't see that inside wall, got into it. I would think that has some implications. Noah's a very popular driver. Remember, 2 guys make this race and a fan vote. If I was going to be a fan of somebody on that racetrack, I'm all over Noah Gragson. This could be huge.
NASCAR yesterday released a list of the 5 drivers leading the fan vote, and Noah was one of those 5.
Tough break for Gregson.
Will be given when this ends. Here are the 5, and this is in numerical order, not in voting order, with the winner yet to be announced. So, cleaning up from a 4-car pileup down in turn number 1.
I think they're headed to commercial right now. I was about to get up and plug my laptop in before it dies, so I'll wait to do that once they go back to green flag racing. I still have a little bit of battery left to this point, but thanks for everybody tuning in. If you haven't yet already, be sure to like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. We're just over 25 minutes into the All-Star Open. Had our first crash of the evening following the competition caution at race start just after lap 40. 4 drivers were taken out in the accident. Chandler Smith with the toe link issue is already pulled to the garage. Ryan Newman, Noah Gregson's crew still going to work on their car. And I think there was also a toe link issue on the 38 of Todd Gilliland, who was involved in the incident as well. Josh Bilicki in the 78 will get the free pass to get back on the lead lap, so whoever is remaining after that accident will all be on the lead lap. Josh Berry was the leader when the caution flag came out after he won the race off of pit road with the 48 team. And again, the top 2 advance from the Open to the All-Star race, and we're going to have another restart coming up here after a wildly chaotic restart that we just saw moments ago. We're going to take a quick break while Fox is on the commercial. Be sure to like and subscribe again, and I'll see you guys here. Well, I don't know. I was giving you guys the sign-off. We are staying here with our coverage, but we are taking a quick break. I picked Josh Berry to win the Open. We'll see if my prediction will be correct. Chance to get 2 wins in the books here for tonight. And I feel pretty confident about my pick for the All-Star race later on this evening, but I will wait until we get the full field in based off of this race, because Ty Gibbs in that 54 looks really, really fast when he has the clean air advantage. So it's going to be tough for any of these drivers to get to the front with how much track position is going to matter on an All-Star race, maybe here Virtue, or I should say here more so than a track like a Charlotte Motor Speedway, which we are used to having the All-Star race for many, many years. And it's back in North Carolina this weekend, but at North Wilkesboro, and I don't think anybody's complaining about that. So looks like Todd Gilliland has also pulled to the garage. So Gilliland and Chandler Smith are out of the race after that accident. They definitely took the 2 hardest hits, I do believe. Well, I guess Gregson took a hard hit too, head on into the outside wall, but he is in as of right now. Ryan Newman is, he's got even more damage. It looked like the 51 car had more of a crush into the outside wall when he hit head on versus the 42 of Gregson. So maybe there's a chance the 42 car will remain, because if he does stay in the race, he is eligible for the All-Star race with the Open, but they have a lot of work to do to that race car to try to get it back up to speed, even if he does advance. So Gilliland climbing out of his car now in the garage. He's had a great season for Front Row Motorsports. He has been impressive so far. Green flag quickly back in the air as we're racing again at North Wilkesboro Speedway. I keep saying Alex Bomas the second time. Josh Berry in the 48 on the inside, leading the field to the green. The 31 of Justin Haley on the top had a good restart. Berry leans on him down the backstretch, trying to get his way into the All-Star race tonight and a chance for $1 million. Gibbs moves the 34 into the 31. Both cars go up into the outside wall. We have a caution. Major contact made between the 34 of Michael McDowell and the 31 of Justin Haley, and it was off the front bumper of the 54 car of Ty Gibbs, who fell back to 4th after that restart and tried to use the old bump and run of Michael McDowell, who was in 3rd right in front of him, and knocked him sideways into the car he was battling for 2nd with, which was Justin Haley. They both go into the wall with significant contact, and it looks like Berry, who was ahead of it, got the best of that ordeal, as it looked as if on the replay there were actually 3 wide in the middle of the corner before the 31 and the 34 got to the outside wall off of turn 4. Let's see here. Yeah, they were definitely 3 wide. So Gibbs definitely forced his way in there 3 wide. A very hard hit for Haley and McDowell. The wall comes up very quick on this very narrow racetrack. Looked like both drivers of McDowell and Haley tried to stay in the gas and steer clear of the wall, but it just wasn't going to end up happening, and we have 2 more cars taken out, and it does look as if there is maybe a toe link issue on the front of the 31 car, Justin Haley, so that may take him out. Ryan Newman also pulled to the garage right before that restart, so Newman is done for the day. Justin Haley is pulling into the garage. They're not even going to attempt to try to get that toe link fixed, and it looks like the 34 of McDowell's now coming into the pits. We'll see if he will remain in the race or if he will pull to the garage as well. There's some work being done to the outside wall, it looks like, off of turn 4. The AMR safety team trying to fix maybe some of the wall that may have gotten caved in. It was a pretty hard hit for both race cars. Of course, this is a track that has not been in use for 27 years under the NASCAR realm, so trying to make sure that the safer barrier is still intact after that hit for both drivers. They are working on the right front fender of the 34 car of Michael McDowell currently. And it looks like the right rear, they're also trying to work there, as there isn't quite as much of damage, but a caution flag is out after 3 wide at North Wilkesboro. Just didn't work in the middle of 3 and 4, more so to the exit of the corner. And Justin Haley now knocked out of the race. That is the second of 3 colleague entries in the Open that have now DNF'd. And AJ Allmendinger, the 4th of them, is up to 4th. Shout out to JJ Yaley, who has missed these accidents. He is up to 5th place trying to get himself into the All-Star race. He is a great short track racer locally, more so on dirt tracks. But we'll see if JJ Yaley can get that 15 car in. That was actually the same car I was talking about with Ryan Preece, who last year raced his way into the Clash with Rick Royer Racing. So we will see if Yaley in that same car could try to race his way into the All-Star race tonight. That'd be a pretty cool story. Under the hood now, the 34, Michael McDowell, and he has already lost a couple of laps, so it's going to be tough to get him back into this race as we're down to just 40 laps to go in the All-Star Race Open.
On a cycle, I think it's important to get them cleaned up as well. I think there's a lot of debris out there, and if you don't get these things cleaned up, a young driver like Ty Gibbs, he really hasn't had to worry about that on our newer surfaces that he races on the majority of the time. Here, not so much. Pretty old school.
It's a good point, and there's a lot of sealer on the track. I walked around the track earlier today, and the track is coming up, right? You walk around, you can pick little pieces up of the track. It's kind of crumbling as these guys are running on it. That's a good point. You get a little something on your tires, some of those little stones that are ground up that are pulling up. Could be slick.
Also, he's been leading. He hasn't been in traffic like he was in that situation at all.
Will he fix that?
Well,
we don't have any more.
Well, yeah, the balance of his car is going to be a little different in traffic. You know, it's not going to turn as good. The thing is, in a race like this, we saw it get spread out a little bit once we got 3 or 4 laps in. They know they've got to capitalize on these restarts.
All right, Corey LaJoy on pit road. Let's check with Jamie.
Well, Noah Gragson was one of the cars involved in that first caution, and he told the team bent toe link, so they told him pit, but he couldn't hear the team, so he stayed out. They think they have the issues worked out. They switched over to another channel, but he's making hay. Noah Gragson up to 7th with a very hurt race car.
Wow. 39 to go. Here's your choose.
Almirola goes to the outside. That's a brave move because he's been restarting on the 3rd row inside each time, and I think he has the car that can get past Ty Gibbs or Josh Berry.
I think they saw Justin Haley get that jump on the outside. It's doable. He just proved it.
So teammates Almirola and Preece took the outside along with Harrison Burton. Everybody else is in the inside lane.
I kind of like that inside lane, Clint.
So only 3 cars will take the outside lane for the restart. Everybody else down to the bottom. 11 cars on the lead lap. 37 laps to go in the All-Star Open. 2 drivers will race their way in. One at virtue of a fan vote. It has been dicey these last couple of restarts. Will it be again? Green flag is back in the air. Josh Berry leads them to the start-finish line on the bottom. Gets a good launch. The 10 of Almirola also a great launch on the outside, but not as good as Berry, who is down low on the bottom. Berry's going to be able to pull clear, it looks like, off of turn 2. No, not quite. Almirola stays on that right rear corner panel before trying to dive down to the bottom and cut Gibbs off. Gibbs is still there, though, on the inside and will take over the 2nd place position. Ryan Preece will get by his teammate Eric Almirola to the bottom as well. Preece slips the rear tires off of turn 4, struggles to get into turn 1, and just barely stays to the inside of the 10 as Almirola still can't get down to the bottom lane, which is the preferred lane at this racetrack. Little contact now between the 10 and the 41. Preece took an awful long time to get around Eric Almirola, and that allowed for Almirola to not get down to the bottom. I should say disallowed him to get to the inside. AJ Allmendinger will take back that 4th place position where he was initially on the restart. He was on the outside of row 2 there, and was quickly able to get to the bottom behind the 10 of Eric Almirola, and now gets around the 10. So Almirola tried to take the top lane. He was in 3rd place prior to the restart. Now he is back to 5th, and we have a battle for the lead going on between Josh Berry and Ty Gibbs. Gibbs is on the bottom of the racetrack right now, trying to find a way around the 48 of Berry. Gibbs was the fastest car through the first half of this open race, but he had lost track position on pit road with the 48, beating him out of the pits. And now Berry is trying to play defense and hold on for his first ever All-Star race entry. Ty Gibbs also looking for his first ever All-Star race entry, beating on the back of the 48 car, working his way to the inside with the bump and run, and now we are side by side for the lead, but a little bit of slip up there from Gibbs off of turn 2. Ryan Preece will now close that battle for the race lead a lot tighter. Gibbs has to get around Josh Berry before other drivers start to get around him. Gibbs is going to go to the outside as Berry blocks the bottom. What a move by Ty Gibbs to the outside. North Wilkesboro off of turn 4 is going to get by Josh Berry, and Gibbs to the lead with 31 to go. And now Josh Berry's got to hold off the 41 car of Ryan Preece for that final transfer position as of right now. Berry was not in the top 5 in the votes for the fan vote, so he knows he has to race his way in. Ryan Preece was one of those drivers that had a chance to get voted in, but he is in 3rd. Almirola with the bump and run will get by AJ Allmendinger for 4th. Allmendinger trying to cross over, but can't have that rear wheel grip he needed to get to the inside of the 10 off of turn 2, and Almirola is now up to 4th place. Here we go. 30 laps left in the All-Star Open. Ty Gibbs is back to the point. Josh Berry is in 2nd. Ryan Preece is 3rd. Eric Almirola 4th. AJ Allmendinger is 5th. JJ Aley in 6th place. Noah Gregson 7th. Ty Dillon in 8th. Josh Bilicki 9th. And Harrison Burton rounds out the top 10. Corey LaJoie is the last car in the lead lap at 11th. Michael McDowell still in the race, is 1 lap down in 12th. Ryan Newman is in 13th place. He's still in the race, but he is 2 laps down. Justin Haley on back is out of the race. Haley will finish 14th in the Open and fail to make the All-Star race. Todd Gilliland 15th and Chandler Smith 16th. Almirola taking a dive, trying to get to the inside of his teammate Ryan Preece for 3rd place once again. Can't get to the back bumper of Preece to move him up out of the way, and actually lost Preece a little bit, trying to get back to the throttle off of turn 4. As the battle for 3rd place goes on behind him, this is exactly what Josh Berry needs as he is settling in that 2nd place position, and he is not allowing Ty Gibbs to completely pull away from him. Gibbs was a little bit faster with the clean air that last lap, but only about a 10th quicker than Berry in the 48 car. 0.4 of a second right now is the difference between 1st and 2nd place on the racetrack, and 0.9 of a second back to 3rd, and a half a second difference total between the 2nd and 3rd place position, which would be the battle for that final transfer spot. Almirola again to the inside of Preece. Can he make the pass this time? Yes, he will. Preece is going to allow Almirola to get up there, and maybe if Almirola could get to the 48, battle him, that could allow Preece and Allmendinger to try to catch up and make it a 3 to 4 car battle for the final transfer spot to get into the Open in these closing laps. Almirola, who decided to try to restart on the outside of row 1, lost track position. He has gotten 2 of those 3 spots back, and now he is in the 3rd place spot. And Josh Berry is losing touch from Ty Gibbs. Almirola quicker that last lap by 3/1000ths of a second than Josh Berry, as Almirola is closing in on the 48 car. So you have a Toyota followed by a Chevy, 2 Fords, and a Chevy in the top 5. Last lap speed, again, it looked like Almirola a couple hundredths of a second quicker than Josh Berry, and we are setting up for a great battle in these final 24 laps for the final transfer spot to get into the All-Star race. Ty Gibbs is now 1.1 seconds ahead of Josh Berry at the start-finish line with 23 laps to go. Berry in the 48 car. Getting so close.
Now, hey, let's go back a few laps. Remember, he moved Michael McDowell the way.
Oh,
McDowell is tallying on him right now.
And there goes Berry to the lead. Wow, how about this?
I wondered why they were trying to fix that car on pit road. And that makes complete sense right now.
Eric, look on the outside. Can he do a crossover right here? Oh, didn't stay. This is
What a race for the lead right now.
And now Almirola's on the outside looking in.
see Ty Gibbs really warming over the back of the 48.
Right back to Barry's bumper.
But I don't think Barry can't let him go right now. It's not the same position because Eric Amarola is right behind him, and Ty Gibbs is going to wear that bumper out.
Gibbs was so close to the wall off of 4 right there, almost got in it.
You're right, Jamie. If one makes the move, they're both going to go
Both are
by.
going to go, that's right.
48.
Oh, he's going to make a move. He's going to be forced to.
Everybody in the earlier incidents checked and released at the infield care center.
All those fans look like us standing up right now. We got so excited when that happened.
20 to go. Eric Almirola has transferred from the Open to the All-Star race 3 times, looking to make it 4 tonight.
As Kevin Hamlin will be telling that Josh Berry, the best thing he sees is the gap in between the car behind you, Gibbs, and Almirola. If that stays the case, Gibbs will stay off of his bumper. If this Almirola gets to Gibbs and puts pressure on him, that's going to amp up his pressure. Right now, I like this gap.
I'll tell you what, Josh Berry is doing a great job. Got out to the lead. Gibbs is now in some dirty air. We talk about how tough it is to. It's one thing catching, it's another thing to be able to pass. Josh is keeping that car straight, entry and on exit, running good lap times right now.
These old wore-out short tracks right in his wheelhouse. Does not surprise me. And by the way, pretty darn good equipment too, Jamie.
Yeah, definitely good equipment.
Eric's doing
he's
everything he can do here. All over this racetrack, utilizing them grip strips, trying to figure out a way around this 54.
Well, and as I look at Ty Gibbs, and he's been pretty quiet this year, guys, but if you think about his career in the Xfinity Series, he was known as someone that would move you out of the way. And if I'm Eric, I know that, and I'm going to race him the same way that I think that he would race me. So this could get interesting in the next 17 laps if Eric's able to get to his back bumper, knowing what's on the line.
Ty Gibbs so quiet, but so efficient all year long. Very strong, solid each and every week. But I started to see exactly what you talked about out there just a minute ago.
Absolutely.
As soon as he needed to ratchet up that aggression,
he's not scared. That's right.
Now, for the last 4 laps, Josh Berry has been the fastest car on the racetrack. So to move him, you got to get to him, and they are not closing that gap.
And I think that's what exactly what I was talking about with his spotter, Kevin Hamlin. That's music to his ears. Got a little bit of gap, a little bit of space in between Gibbs and Almirola there. That means Gibbs is not going to come up there and show us the aggression that it takes. And that's going to open the door up for us for 1.
14 laps to go at the start-finish line that time by. Josh Berry continues his lead up to 0.6 of a second now over Ty Gibbs. Gibbs had lost the lead after a hiccup off of turn 4 where Berry was able to slip by. Gibbs was just able to get back down to the bottom quickly enough, though, before Eric Almirola got there, so Ty Gibbs is still in the final transfer position. So despite the hiccup, he still has a chance to try to qualify, but his chances of winning the Open are starting to slip away in the closing laps. Berry has had the better long-run speed, it looks like, over the course of this run, although Ty Gibbs did pick up just a little bit that last lap. It was about 5/1000ths of a second quicker than Josh Berry, but consistently since the restart, it looks like Berry, once we got 20 laps into this green flag run, has been running noticeably quicker. The 34 car of Michael McDowell is towards the back of the pack right now, and he is in danger of losing a lap, so the leaders are about to catch 1-lap car. As far as the last driver in the lead lap goes, which would be Harrison Burton in 11th, he's 14 seconds off the lead. I'm not sure that the race leaders are going to catch him before the end. I would imagine Michael McDowell will pull out of the way as he has already pretty much ruined his chances of making it. Well, he didn't ruin his chances of making it into the All-Star Open, but unprecedented circumstances getting involved in an accident did. Now, because he was taken out by Ty Gibbs, we will see what he will do. McDowell pulls down to the bottom. He's going to park it in front of Gibbs, and he is slowing Ty Gibbs up. Off of turn 4, Gibbs is going to get to the inside of Michael McDowell, and here comes the 10 of Almirola. Maybe a little bit of displeasure shown by the veteran McDowell versus the rookie Ty Gibbs after getting taken out by the 54 car a little bit ago. But Gibbs was able to get by the 34 cleanly. Had a little bit of a stressful situation trying to do so as he snuck by to the inside off turn 4. And Josh Berry grows that lead out just a little bit more, although that next lap, after passing McDowell, Ty Gibbs was quicker by about a 0.2 of a second gap over Josh Berry. So Berry maybe starting to lift a little early. Maybe he's losing the grip of his race car. Gibbs is driving it harder, and Eric Almirola also driving it really hard as he goes to the middle groove And that did not work out. I don't know if that was intentional or not, or maybe Almirola's car got tight overdriving the entry into turn 3, but he was about a half a lane higher than Ty Gibbs. He's going to go another full lane higher through turns 1 and 2 again, and I think that's 2 straight overdrives for Almirola. He's trying a different line, or he is overdriving the corner, whatever it is not working, and he has lost touch of Ty Gibbs, as he now has about 3 to 4 car lengths of a difference between himself and the second place race car. Barry is pulling him back away from Gibbs again. It's kind of like a roulette wheel of how far the difference is between Barry and Gibbs. Since Barry has taken the lead, Gibbs will be faster some laps, Barry will be faster others, but these last 3 laps, Josh Berry has been noticeably quicker than Ty Gibbs and has pulled away to a 1.2 second lead. Almirola is 0.4 of a second behind Ty Gibbs at the start-finish line that last time, as we have 5.5 laps to go in the All-Star Open. Barry will advance with a win, assuming we don't get another caution. Ty Gibbs and Eric Almirola are battling for the final transfer spot. Almirola down on that white line, doesn't go below it. We've seen problems with the next-gen cars, both last night in the heat races and as well in this Open. When drivers get down below the white line in the middle of the corner, we saw more success with all 4 tires down below the white line out of the apron in the Truck Series race yesterday, but maybe not as much grip for these Cup cars, having a little bit more horsepower than the Truck Series to be able to do so. Whatever the case, maybe the rear diffuser, we have not seen that aggressive of a line, and it's been more of a wing groove racetrack with the Cup cars versus the Truck Series as a result. Gibbs is going to have to step on it once again, because Eric Almirola was a little bit quicker that last lap. Gibbs will be quicker this lap, though, as he will extend that lead off of turn 4 about another car length or so as they head to the stripe. 3 laps to go in the Open. Almirola charges the corner entry a lot harder. That's going to allow Gibbs to get back to the gas sooner off the exit of turn 2. Overall, really no net gain or loss for Almirola versus Gibbs in front of him. Ty Gibbs is now 1 second off the race lead from Josh Berry and is starting to close here as Berry is catching dirty air. He's got the lap car of Ryan Newman in his way. 2 laps to go. Josh Berry trying to get by Ryan Newman as of right now. Newman, a Rick Ware Racing driver, an affiliated driver, of course, of Eric Almirola, so we'll see if a Ford will help another Ford to get in. Berry will lap Newman off the exit of the corner, and he is going to kind of make it difficult for Gibbs off of turn 4. Gibbs could not clear the 51. 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. Gibbs will now clear Newman into turns 3 and 4. Almirola down on the bottom, slides into Ryan Newman. There's contact between the 10 and the 51. That's going to allow Gibbs to pull away, and he will be able to hang on as they exit turn 4. Josh Berry will win the All-Star Open. Ty Gibbs will end up second. They will both advance to the All-Star race tonight and a chance at $1 million. Almirola will miss out barely as he is going to end up finishing in 3rd place. Ryan Preece will finish 4th. AJ Allmendinger rounds out the top 5. JJ Yaley finishes 6th. Respectful run for him. Noah Gragson in 7th. Ty Dillon 8th. Corey LaJoie 9th. And Josh Bilicki rounds out the top 10. Harrison Burton 11th. Was the last car in the lead lap. Ryan Newman finishes in 12th place, 3 laps down. Michael McDowell 3 laps down in 13th. And then the 3 cars at DNF from the Open of Justin Haley will finish 14th, Ty Dillon 15th, and Chandler Smith rounds out the 16-car field.
Hey, Noah Gregson, it's Boyer and the boys up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Well, buddy, I know that's not the one you wanted, that race right there. But the good news is your fans, they put you in the big dance tonight. How about that?
Hell yeah. I appreciate all you fans. You guys are awesome. Heat race wasn't nearly what we wanted, but you guys make this happen. It's a dream to be able to race an all-star race and for $1 million. So thank you, all you fans, for all the support, and everybody for coming out to North Wilkesboro, and we hope to put on a good show for you guys.
Well, you ain't got much time. Get that thing buffed back out and get some of them scratches off of it. You're in it. Congratulations, buddy.
Sweet, thanks, guys.
So there you heard it on the Fox booth. Noah Gragson will get the fan vote after finishing 7th in the All-Star Open. Was collected at one of the incidences in the early going of, well, I should say the middle going of this race following the competition caution. So the 3 drivers that will advance from the Open to the All-Star race will be Josh Berry, who wins the All-Star Open, and he is standing with Jamie Little right now.
Man, I feel so relieved. These guys deserve to be in this race so bad. Thank you so much, Hendrick Motorsports, for believing in me and giving me this opportunity and under circumstances. Ally, everybody back at Hendrick Motorsports and Chevrolet, man. This is really cool. Our car was solid. We were definitely better the second run. We got some help there with whatever happened with the 34. I don't know what that was. That was pretty bad. But you know, we were able to get the lead and stretch it out a little bit and just kind of maintain it. I think the two best cars made it, so we'll just see what tonight gives us.
What is this? This is the style of racing you grew up doing. You and Dale Jr., I know, are so tight, and what this night means to him. So, are you going to be a favorite for this All-Star?
I don't know. We got a lot of cars to pass, but if tonight's any indication of how that was way crazier than I ever expected. But I was here in August when Dale Jr. and this crowd rivals that. That was a night that I will never forget. And hopefully, let's make tonight like that as well and put on a great show for these fans.
Congratulations. See you in the All-Star.
Thank you.
Josh?
Ty Gibbs raced his way into his first All-Star race. What does it mean to be a part of this big event now?
Yeah, it's really cool. I feel like I'm kind of back here at Hickory Motor Speedway, honestly. You know, it's pretty cool, pretty special to be here. I know that I wasn't alive, of course, when they were racing here, but it's really cool. It's a worn-out racetrack for sure, so fun. Just kind of looking for patches, looking for grip.
Ty, there was a couple battles out there, obviously trying to hold up Eric Almirola, but also with the 34 of McDowell. What was going on out there?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of understand the 34's frustration, but at Martinsville we were running 18th and they clobbered us and about wrecked us, so I think it's honestly fair game. And racing and making an all-star race, so I mean, I understand his frustration, but we got in, so that's all that matters.
Ty Gibbs in the all-star race. Regan?
Well, Michael McDowell, the other side to the equation of what took place there as Ty Gibbs, and you made some contact a couple of different occasions tonight. What was the message you were trying to send, and how frustrated are you right now?
Well, I mean, it's short track racing to try to get into the All-Star race, so somebody's going to leave with hurt feelings. I guess it's me. You know, I got a great restart there, kind of worked the outside, got a couple guys, and was able to get down, and you know, Ty just plowed into me, just knocked me into 31, spun us both out, and you know, got a lot of damage from that. So, you know, we ended up on the short side of it. It sucks. It felt like we had a pretty fast freight auction Ford Mustang, but at the same time, you know, it's just all that stuff comes around, man. You know, you can get away with it a few times, but it comes around, and you know, I don't have a budget for the fine. Otherwise, I would not be standing here. I'd be standing down there.
Thanks, Michael.
So there you go. You heard from some of the tempers maybe between the 34 of Michael McDowell and the 54 of Ty Gibbs following this All-Star Open. Gibbs gets the last lap for now, though, as he is going to be in the Open, getting that final transfer spot. Again, Josh Berry wins it, and Noah Gragson, who finished 7th and got involved in a wreck, has pretty significant damage on his race car, really the most damage of anybody that finished this All-Star Open from the 6 drivers who I think total were involved in accidents, but he is going to be in because of the fan votes. So good start to the All-Star race weekend so far at the truck race yesterday, the heat races last night, and now the All-Star Opens in the books. One race still to go and one more live commentary stream still to go for the NASCAR All-Star race. Be sure to tune in tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for that one. This will end this stream as of right now. So we are going to end this, and then at 8 p.m. we will be back for the main event. Appreciate it, everybody. Thanks for watching, and see you guys later tonight.